on the charity of foreign governments, and it is now the time to lay the foundation for self-sufficiency. The sunset of USAID has forced a level of economic policy introspection unseen in Africa for decades. And I believe the situation calls for a serious rethink in our development priorities as African governments. Difficult and unfamiliar choices will have to be made going forward. Our governments across the continent must weigh whether buying bullets to restock their armories is better than use of scarce resources for producing vaccines and mosquito nets needed to protect our infants from disease. Prioritization of expenditure in the absence of African-financed subsidies in the health sector and in the education sector means that more attention is going to be paid by our citizens to the way governments handle their finances. And this will inevitably translate into demands for greater public participation and transparency in public financial management. The second I mentioned is what we are seeing in Western Europe with each passing year. More and more governments are leaning further and further to the right. The election of populist, nationalist administrations has been catalyzed by various factors. Among them, the huge cost of living attributed to the side effects of global shocks, and the scramble for stretched social services. Services that must be shared with millions of migrants flowing in from Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and significantly from Africa. This right-leaning scenario that we see in Europe has some near-term implications for Africa. The truth of the matter is, the Europeans no longer want to see our immigrant boats laden with our young men and women landing on their shores. They are currently busy enacting laws to ensure that we never set foot in their countries, to partake in their resources without proper immigration documents. Our young people will soon have nowhere left to escape, nowhere to run away from the wars and poverty that define much of our continent's present realities. So what? With nowhere to go but home, with no one to turn to but themselves, I believe that our young people, and that is you, will eventually wake up to the fact that there is no global rescue mission coming to save you. We must save ourselves from a future of despair. You, our young people, will have to play your part in reshaping the destinies of our countries of birth, and you will help us realize that this is the moment for each and every one of you to step onto the stage. Your time has come. In both these examples that I have drawn from, there is a clear illustration of the type of challenges that define the moment that we are currently living in. Conversely, the same examples also provide the perfect segue for us to explore the opportunities that exist for a new generation of young leaders. A generation who will chart a better path for Africa, and I do believe that is what has brought us together this morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we seek to navigate the challenges of our time, let us take a moment